scrape the old... Dead right. Di's mum and dad had a hubmobile, a 1938 hubmobile.
But it's just turned out well. It's turned out well, isn't it?
Oh, it's nice in like far less traffic.
People in Townsville really good.
Oh yeah, we're bringing business to it.
So we haven't hit lunch yet. Huh? We haven't hit lunch yet, so...
Well, you can have lunch. She's got to watch that this morning. She said, look, if they're all closed, McDonald's is never closed.
You're probably right. As far as power output, almost, yes.
That's a beauty.
Yeah, that's right. The docket in the thing. Yeah,
No way.
She's out of hand, this one.
I'll take you away.
He's all right. Riley, 1933 Riley. And here we have a fine example of a Hudson terraplane. Dodge flat tray truck, 1934, obviously by the number plate. 6-cylinder flat engine, probably similar to what went in the old Plymouth. I see he supplemented the cooling with an electric fan. red car here is a Chevy Ute, 1935, a couple of years earlier than the Plymouth. That's getting closer to the vintage of my dad's Plymouth. Yeah, beautiful. A lot of cars, that's for sure. Another Buick, followed by something from its number plate, which would perhaps signify it's a Ford. But let me have a closer look.
Yeah, some nice ones.
Another 38 Plymouth Buick. Sorry, I'm talking to my commentary so I remember what the cars are.
Yeah, that's fair
Okay.
enough. Yeah.
I'm looking if I can see what my father used to have, a 38 Plymouth.
All right.
So I don't know whether there's... And another Austin 7.
Yeah, look at this.
39 Chevrolet bus from the Russ course at Mossman Park.
It's hard now to get members.
No young fella are interested.
Right. Have you had to do much work on it, or was it as it was? You bought it as it was.
A little bit of work,
Yeah.
not much.
Best thing about the old cars, you could always crank them and start them if you had to, but not like today.
And here we have, of course, a Holden 55. Little Morris. Fine example of a Morris.
It's a sharp, it's a fairly sharp.
We'll start down this end at a nice Riley. It's all right. People in it makes it more interesting. Another Riley. And here we have a Morris Model Z. Morris Z. Followed by the inevitable Austin A40. Well, fancy that. And here we have a big Austin, an Austin A125, owned by Bill Bunt in Townsville, or restored by him. And it's a 6-cylinder overhead valve 4-litre engine of 124 horsepower.
One beside me.
Here we have a dear old Citroen, like the one that Theli and Appy Arps owned. And next to that is another 1950 Riley, restored by Bill Bunt Bill Bunt's got an obviously a good business in restoration in Townsville.
Well, look, there's a couple of them there, isn't there, Bunts?
A couple of bunts I've seen.
Yeah.
And there's
That's
Norm's
most
Morris
ro-
Minor. Yeah, that looks like Norm's.
Most Rileys I've seen.
Yes, it's a very nice model, isn't it?
Prefect that, and I think that box prefect.
And here we have, looks like, no, the red one's Norm's. That's not Norm's, that's 1951, Morris Oxford. And this is followed by Norm's 1951 Morris Minor. It's in lovely condition. Next to that, we have another Riley. '57 Daimler, Century Mark II, very good condition, a few stone chips, so it's obviously still used a bit. And now we come to the American vehicles, a big Yank tank, Chevrolet. Over there, beside the Chev, is a Hillman. 1950 Hillman Minx made by the Roots Group. Used to assemble them in Melbourne, down at Port Melbourne. I worked at the factory as an auditor. It's all right, it doesn't matter.
We're just going to get a drink. Hurry up.
And here is Ford Anglia. Ford twin spinner, mainline utility.
We'll have a look.
A Ford Zephyr Mark II, ute. And a Mark II Zephyr ute. Amazing that they have a lot of utes around here. Must be that they were used on farms and obviously been restored around here. Another Morris Minor, followed beside Holden sedan, next to the Zephyr. Another Holden ute. Followed by a nice Holden station wagon. Followed here by a little Austin Healey Sprite. Looks like the Sprite is the only Healey derivative here. Not a bug eye, so it's a later version Sprite. good condition. And next to it is a very nice MGB. Ken's quality.
She's going through the middle.
Running Michelin tyres. And next to it is an old example of a Slant 6 Valiant engine fitted with extractor exhaust system. Looks like the standard original inlet manifold, but not a fairly clean little car. Very popular Valiant. They were the model that was raced by Ernie Abbott around the racetrack at Sandown. The old torque float automatic transmission. Here we have another fine example of a Holden utility. Here we have an old Buick sedan, two-door, with its bonnet up.
Nice to sit in though, eh, driving.
Big old donk. 1966 Electra. It's for sale if you want to buy it. Yards. Oh, an Austin Kimberley. Had one of those. Now, who would own such a wonderful car as the Austin Kimberley? Next to the Austin Kimberley is, of course, the inevitable Mini Moke, followed by a Holden Monaro, and followed by a Peugeot 504. Engines inclined, aluminium head. The back of the GT 350. Dual colour in that XJ140C.
just looks great.
It's amazing how they, it's
Yeah.
like some parts are like a purple,
It's a-
pinky colour, and then over here it's a greeny,
It's
bluey.
a candy apple sort of crepe.
Yeah.
It's just mixed all different. They're made over West Australia and stuff.
Because it mixed, like there's the paint sort of mixed together.
One way to confuse the cops, isn't it?
Mixed together by hand or computer or what.
Oh, by hand also. Yeah.
And
That's fine me that actually turn out properly.
Double computer. Yep. What's this? It's going. That means
But this, the regulator must not be. We're stopped at top of Mingler Hill and she wouldn't fire. So
So
I'm waiting for him coming back.
how are you going to get home? Do you think the battery will last?
No,
you get home?
yeah, it just gets enough from the battery
To get you
run
going.
it, you know. It's only if you start using lights.
Yeah, well, you better
If
not
you
leave.
start using lights, you'd be in a bit of trouble.
That's right.
So where are you from?
I'm from Melbourne. I suppose it probably was.
It's on the other red one. It would have been lovely to drink.
There's not enough charge to run the light, so he only uses it if
Another Ford to do up. Willie's Jeep. And the Ford. Chevrolet. Beautiful.